In this video, you will learn how to create an easy and quick interior collage in less than 10 minutes. Before we start, I want to note that all of the collage cutouts used in this video are from our resource store. Here we have many resources for architects, among which we have a specific collage category for those who love creating architectural drawings in a collage style. Some of these you can download for free and some are paid, and plus you support the channel and help us keep creating videos for you guys. Let's begin. Now let's open our 3D model. We have already worked on this project from past videos, so some of you may recognize it. The only difference is that we are seeing it from an interior perspective this time. Now we are going to open V-Ray to create a base render. This render has nothing special to it. The concrete and wood textures are taken from the Chaos Cosmos library. I also have the sun disk size in a high value, so I don't have any hard shadows on the floor. Also, I selected various render ID channels to have more versatility when editing it inside Photoshop. You want to ensure your final render size is in a good resolution. In this case, it was 3000 by 4000 pixels, and I hit the render button. Now I open Photoshop and import the main render channels I'll use for this image. We can set the ambient occlusion channel to multiply and lower the opacity. We can also invert the Z-depth channel and set it to hard light and lower the opacity to create a vignette around the image. We are going to group these base layers, duplicate the group, and merge the second folder into one image. Now we set the layer as a smart object and open the camera raw filter. The advantage of using smart objects is that you can always go back and make any changes on top. Now here I just want to increase the detail on some textures, so I will raise the levels of textures and clarity and also lower the dehaze values to get a more collage-like feeling. Now that we have our base layer, we will start importing our different textures. As usual, we start with our background and work our way to the front, so we will import some grass textures from our grass texture pack. Here I am importing 3 different grass textures just so I can test them out and see which one can suit my image best. Also, since I rendered this image with a glass texture, I want to place my grass beneath the base layer, select the windows, and softly paint the windows with a mask. That way, we can still feel that there's a glass texture in between. Now, I will open my sky textures and import 2 different skies to see which suits the image best. I chose a simple sky without too much drama that can complement the landscape texture. Subsequently, we are going to start adding our collage furniture. This is probably the most fun part because you can start adding some personality to the interior of your image. So here I will import different furniture elements and just see if they are the right fit for the image. For some, I import them and immediately know they won't work, so I erase them. And for others, I just leave them some time to see if they start adjusting visually to the entire composition. Now, if you don't have this pack, no worries. You can also create your own cutouts. Look for some old classic paintings you like and cut out your own objects and furniture. In the end, I left a table, 2 chairs, a dog looking at the landscape and creating visual tension between the chairs, and some objects on the floor. This gives the whole image an informal vibe and adds that extra collage look your image sometimes needs. Now that we have our furniture set up, we can open our people folder and start testing to see which one can work best. Since this is a small space with many visual elements in the frame, we don't want to include many people. We just want 1 or 2 that can grab all of the attention and make our eyes travel through the drawing. That is why I finally opted for going with this couple that is looking at each other, creating tension between them and keeping the viewer inside the space. Of course, although this can be a collage and you may think rules don't apply here, you want to ensure you place each object and person in the correct direction of the sunlight. Likewise, I think we could have left the background like this, but I also wanted to try and see how the image would look with some trees in the background, because if you can remember, this tiny cabin is situated in the middle of the forest, and for the previous renders we had created, we always placed some tall trees around. So I used our trees collage pack and placed random trees around the image. Here we want to make sure we can still see the horizon line so the viewer can understand how the perspective works, and we want to ensure we mostly show the tree trunks so we understand the scale of the project concerning its context. Now we are going to start to add shadows. There are many ways of doing this, but I want to quickly add them with a soft circular brush and a low opacity. I want to sample the color of the existing shadows and start painting the shadows in a new layer. You can spend more time here if you like. This depends on how refined and exact you want your shadows to be. We will again grab all the layers, copy them, merge them onto one single layer and turn them into a smart object. We will open the camera raw filter window and make general adjustments. Here I am looking to increase the texture but without excessive contrast, and at the end I decided to add a hue and saturation adjustment layer to the roof and change the color to a more earthy tone that could contrast the exterior green. This is the final result, which I thought was really satisfying. I also made two other options which you can see on screen. Also, the collage elements are entirely different from the one we did here. Again, there will be a link in the description to download these collage packs if you are interested, or if you want to learn more about creating collage drawings for architecture, you can click on this video playlist right here. Thank you guys all for watching, and let me know which option did you like best in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.